Shalom, shalom. I want to begin this lesson by giving all praise, honor, and glory. You're going to have to click off of that. Close the app. I want to start by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who have taught us all this truth in the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. I'm Shaquat, and I'm back here with another lesson. Lord willing, to edifying to the hopeful elect. Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatham, to you sincere. Hakim, Wa'akwath, and a sincere shalom to you brothers out there pushing this truth out on the highways and the byways and through the YouTube lessons, man. Shalom to you all. Lord willing, this will be edifying and exhorting to the hopeful elect. Before we get into the nitty gritty, this video will be conducted under the Fair Use Copyrights Act of 1976, where all public information that will be contained in this video will be used for the purposes of education, criticism, and research. This video will not be monetized. So without further ado, we're going to get into it. As you see by the title, The Lord is our real or true survival plan. All right. The Lord is our real survival plan. You know, we're going to get into this article on the Newsbreak app. I'm going into you're going to need a real survival plan. Well, nobody else has a real survival plan. All right, but us. All right, we have the true survival plan. All right. Matter of fact, let me do this. So here's the article. Simply stockpiling guns and ammo isn't enough. You have a lot of people, especially Jake out here and your average American, they stockpiling guns, ammo, water, food, you know, your canned goods, all that stuff, candles. But, you know, stockpiling that, it won't ensure you, salvation. It won't ensure you safety in the time when all hell breaks loose. All right, those are just means to an end. All right, meaning that won't be enough, and it won't be enough to preserve you in that day. And you also have to take into account, what will you do if the Lord has you in a situation where you can't get to those things? Then what? What will you do then when you can't get to those items? All right, when you got to figure something else out, when the Lord has all hell break loose and you're at work. All right, you're not at home, or if they're in your truck, your car, but the Lord has all hell break loose and you can't access and get to your truck, you're away from your car, your vehicle. What will you do? That's why you have to always rely on the Lord, because we here at Great Millstone, we say we don't have a problem, with prepping carnally. There's nothing wrong with carnally prepping. It's actually using wisdom. That's a wise thing to do. All right, to prep carnally to an extent. That's using wisdom. Right? But it's a lot here. That's using wisdom. Okay? So, but you can't rely on those things in that day. Like we say, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. But the true way to prep is through Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. That's why these people are going to be asked out. Simply stockpiling guns and ammo isn't enough. You need to build a real survival plan for when disaster strikes. When disaster strikes, a black swan event, etc., too many people think their gun is the only thing they need. A firearm is a tool, not a strategy. Without a real survival plan, it's just a false sense of security in a real-world invasion, collapse, or long-term crises. Survival depends on preparation, mobility, and adaptability, not just firepower. A real survival plan accounts for the reality of modern warfare, infrastructure breakdowns, and how invading forces actually operate. Simply stockpiling guns and ammo isn't enough. Understanding the flow of an attack, how to escape, and how to regroup and operate effectively is what separates those who make it from those who don't. But the true separation comes from if you have Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Those who have the Lord, they will escape. Those who do not, they will be left here to, burn, basically. So if you don't really have the Lord, you're not going to see the salvation, which it goes into that in 2nd Ezra 9. We're going to get to that, Lord willing. All right, that's the true separation. All right, it's not whether you have a great carnal plan for when shit hits the fan, you have all these stocked up items. No, it's about if you have the Lord or not, because the Lord is going to provide in that day. He's going to provide in that day. I'm sure Daniel didn't know how the Lord was going to do it when he got locked in that lion's den, but the Lord sent Habakkuk. The Lord sent the angel to take Habakkuk to him and bring him food. The Lord provided in that day. And when it happened, Daniel was like, hey, call Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, the water Yahweh, the water, right? Going to be the same way. The Lord making chicken and waffles appear out of thin air. That's how a miraculous works like that is going to take place in that day. As Isaiah 59:19 says, all right, when the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord is going to lift up a standard against him. That standard is spiritual power and miraculous works, which spiritual power is a miraculous work. All right. So it doesn't even just mean brothers having spiritual power and defending, but it also means the miraculous works of the Lord that he will provide. All right. He will provide shelter, provision, food, water, raiment. He's going to provide all of that. All right. So, it says if a large scale invasion or attack occurs, the first thing to expect is a targeted takedown of communications, power grids, internet infrastructure, and cellular networks will be high priority targets. Like in a cyber attack, a case of a cyber attack, or a case of an EMP attack. All right, which I believe means an electromagnetic pulse. That attack, when a cyber attack, the internet is just down. Internet services, communication is down because there's no service. And an EMP attack is much worse than a cyber attack. It basically shuts the whole damn thing down. Because in a cyber attack, you still could use internet. Not internet. You could still use electricity and things of that sort. It's to shut down the internet services. But in a case of an EMP attack, it shuts everything down. There is no power. Your car won't fucking work. Now, if you have a car that was made before the 90s, it may work. It may survive an EMP attack. But the cars that are made now, the way they're made now, it wouldn't survive an EMP attack. Your car is going to be shut down. Everything will be shut down. Your phone is going to be completely fucking fried. All right, so that's a lot worse. And these things are going to take place. This is what is known as a Black Swan event. All right, which is a major event that comes as sudden. All right, go into the definition of that yourself. It says, without those, panic sets in. Emergency responders become useless. And it says, let me see. People are left guessing about what's happening beyond their immediate surroundings. An electromagnetic pulse. That's what I was just talking about, an EMP. So it is an electromagnetic pulse. I got it right. The Wadi How about Shemal Shai. So it says an electromagnetic pulse, EMP attack, or cyber warfare operation. That's what I was just talking about. I didn't even know I was going to say that. But that shows you we talk about these things all the time. All right. The Lord gave us great leaders. The elder apostles, the elder bishops, they talk about this all the time. So we know about these things. We've been prophesying of this stuff happening. And then even not even just those attacks, another pandemic can take place as well. Right? So it says cyber warfare operation could knock out these systems before a single soldier or bomb arrives. That means no phone calls, no news updates, and no way to coordinate with loved ones. Anyone relying solely on digital means of communication will be instantly isolated. The first step in any survival plan is ensuring that doesn't happen. A backup radio system, prearranged meeting points, and alternative means of information gathering, such as ham radios or physical signal systems, are crucial. The time to plan these is before they're needed. Now, that's the point. The article's pretty lengthy, so I'm not going to read the whole article. But where in this article did you see you're going to have to rely on the Lord in that day? That shows you only a very small remnant will be saved in these times. We'll be the last one standing in these times. All right, in these times to come. That's why in Isaiah 13:12, it says, a man shall be more precious than fine gold, even in the golden wedge of Ophir. That man is talking about a man of the Lord, because we're going to be the last one standing in that day. Lord willing, we have that number. All right? None of this other carnal prepping is going to save you. This article gives great information, but it's not enough. It's great to have knowledge of these things, but it's not enough if you don't have the wisdom of the Lord. If you don't have the wisdom and knowledge of the Lord, you're through. You're through, man. And that leads me to this precept. Let's get this in Isaiah 33:6. This is Isaiah chapter 33:6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. Man, I ain't think I remember that precept like that. I ain't even look at the phone to read it. Reading that precept out 1,000,000 times. Just state that all the time. You understand? So wisdom and knowledge. Wisdom and knowledge are going to keep you stable in a time of all hell breaking loose. Because we're already in Jacob's trouble. We're just not at that pinnacle of Jacob's trouble, all right, where shit just completely pops the fuck off. We're almost there. It can happen at any moment now, but we're not there yet. All right, but we are in Jacob's trouble. If you haven't seen, look around. Jacob is in trouble, nigga. Jacob is in trouble. All right, Jacob is in fucking trouble. You understand? So, listen, man. If you don't have that wisdom and knowledge from the Lord, all that carnal prepping, all that carnal knowledge of what to do and get tactical with it, it won't matter if you don't have wisdom and knowledge. That's what's going to keep you stable-minded. That's what's going to keep you at bay in the time to come, in the times to come. All right? So that's our treasure, man. And not everybody has that treasure. Only a remnant of the house of Israel possesses that treasure. That's it. And that's that wisdom and knowledge, the knowledge of the word of the Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahawashi. All right, so I want to go to Proverbs 18 and verse 10. The name of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahawashi is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. All right, so the names of the Lord, Yahweh and Yahawashi, that's a strong tower, man. And the righteous run to that strong tower. The righteous run to the names of the Lord. Now, given, not everybody who says, Lord, Lord, is going to be saved. Yahawashi stated that in the book of Matthew. But for the mass majority of those who know the names of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahawashi, we're going to be saved, Lord willing. All right? So the name of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahawashi is a strong tower, and the righteous runneth into it and are safe. So we're going to run into the strong tower. We're going to rely on the Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahawashi in that day to keep us safe and protected. 100%. Just like women are going to rely on us in that day to keep them safe and protected, we're going to rely on our power, Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahawashi, in that day to keep us safe and protected. 100% facts. All right, that's who we're going to call. Sound fine? All right. This is the book of Psalm chapter 91. It says security of the one who trusts in the Lord. And that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to come. with security in that day. To get security in that day, you're going to have to trust in the Lord, man. That's why the title of this lesson is The Lord is Our Real Survival Plan. The article said, hey, stocking up guns and bullets, that's not enough. You're going to need a real survival plan. Shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. What is the secret place of the Most High? It's within the names. That's that strong tower, man. What we just read in Proverbs. That's the strong tower. All right? So we're going to run to the names of the Lord. We're going to abide in that secret place. It's so sacred and secret that only a few are going to be saved, man. It says, we're going to abide under the shadow of the Almighty. A shadow is like a covering. All right, like when it says in Isaiah 32, a man shall be a hiding place from the wind and a covert from the tempest. We're going to be, the Lord is that hiding place. He's that hiding place. He's that covert, that covering, that shield, that shelter from the wind, from the disasters to come. It says, I will say of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, he is my refuge and my fortress, my God. In him will I trust. So when you trust in the Lord, that's when that protection comes. That protection comes from trusting in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler. Who's the fowler? Esau Edom, man. The snare of Esau, because his true MO is to eliminate all of Israel and specifically get to the elect. Because if he gets to the elect and kills off all the elect, he wins. But that won't happen. He's only going to kill off a few. And also say it was possible to where the Lord somehow allowed it, which he wouldn't, because it's not in the scripts. But if he somehow allowed it to where Esau could kill all the members of the elect that is alive today, Esau still wouldn't win, because you have a lot of members of the elect that is in the spirit realm. So you still lose. Devil, you still lose. And the ones that you do kill on this side, well, when Yahweh Shai returns, they're going to be resurrected. So now what? You still lose. This is an unwinnable battle, Esau. It says, surely he shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. Because there are going to be noisome pestilence. Like I said, expect more pandemics. Expect another major one. What did Kill Bates say? Kill Bates, he said some years ago, this one didn't catch him. He said, but this one is going to catch everybody's attention. All right? Yo, what's wrong? Oh, said this one is going to catch everybody's attention. Right? It says, he shall cover thee with his feathers, and under his wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. All right, so we're going to trust in the Lord. We're going to be covered by the Lord, man. All right? He's going to be our shield and our buckler in that day. Right? It says, thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. So we're not going to be touched by this destruction. As I said before, some members of the elect will be put to death for not taking the chip, for not bowing the knee to this devil. But even then, that's mercy. So these destruction, these woes, these terrors, they're not going to come upon the elect. Why do you think he stated in 2nd Ezra 16, then shall they know who am I chosen? It's going to be known. As even brothers who are going through stuff, maybe being tortured, they're going to have that grit. They're going to have that faith. And it's going to be known in that day who are the chosen. All right? Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked. And what does it say in Ecclesiasticus 25? One of the things that makes a man most happy is seeing the fall of his enemy. And hey, Lord willing, we see the reward of the wicked, man, which is Esau Edom. Because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High thy habitation. That's our refuge. That's our habitation. We are to lean on the Lord. All these carnal prepping, these means of prepping carnally, it won't save you in that day. It won't save you in that day. It says, there shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. Because we're going to be protected. It's like back in the ancient Egypt, when the Lord had us put blood on the post of our houses, of the lamp. And that protected us, man. That showed that was a sign to the death angels to go over our house, to not touch us. Same thing, but spiritually. We're going to have a spiritual mark of exemption, which is a tawah. All right, Ezekiel 9:4 speaks about that. Revelation, the 7th chapter, goes into that. For he shall give his angels charge over thee to keep thee in all thy ways. So his angels are going to have charge over us to protect us. Ezekiel 9:4 and Revelation 7, as I just stated. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against the stone. Thou shalt tread upon the lion and the adder, the young lion and the dragon shalt thou trample under feet. Because thou hast set his love upon me, therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high, because he have known my name. So because we knew the Lord's name, he's going to protect us. Remember, Proverbs 18:10. The name of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and are safe. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life will I satisfy him and shew him my salvation. So that is how you obtain salvation. That is the survival plan. Survival means salvation. The survival, take all your cards, put all your cards on the Lord. Take all your chips, your poker chips, and put it with the Lord, man. Because that's the only way. That's the only way. We don't have a plan, and that's it. We don't have no other plans. That's all. If you have a plan B concerning the Lord, your ass ain't of the elect, man. If you got a different plan of how to survive that doesn't include the Lord, your ass is not of the elect. You're through, nigga. And that's the facts. That's the truth. All right? We throwing all our cards on the Lord. He gonna help us in that day. He's gonna take care of it in that day. We don't have no other way to win. Only way to win is the Lord. All right? So Psalm 121:7. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth, and even forevermore. So the Lord is going to preserve us, man. He's going to keep our steps. He's going to watch over us. He's going to make sure we don't get harmed. He's going to make sure we don't get caught up in the wiles of Esau, Edom, the so-called self-proclaimed white man. He's going to make sure we're protected in that day. That's it. That's all. So throw all your cards on the Lord, man. That's our survival plan right there. All right. And I want to jump to 2nd Ezra 14. And 2nd Ezra 14:13. Now therefore, set thine house in order, and reprove thy people, which we're doing. Comfort such of them as be in trouble, and now renounce corruption. All right, so this is how we get saved, man. We set our house in order. All right, We set our house in order. This is how we get saved. Because as the Lord is going to say when you go some verses down, greater evils are coming. So right now, what we're in right now, this is nothing. This is nothing. Greater evils are on the way. Greater evils are on the horizon. You understand? So this is nothing right here. Okay? So we are supposed to set our house in order. How do you set your house in order? You know, it's not by prepping carnally. It's by prepping spiritually. So what do you have to do? You have to repent, turn back to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. You have to repent and turn back to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. And you have to be healed and converted. Converted meaning you have to be reborn. You have to be born again. Just like Yahweh Shai was telling Nicodemus in John the 3rd chapter. You have to be born again. You have to put off the old man and put on the new man. All right? So there you go. So I want to jump over here. Let's go to Isaiah 65. This is Isaiah 65. When we get there, Isaiah 65 and 13. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh power. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh power, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice. Salakia, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Behold, my servants shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. All right? So there you go. All right, the Lord is going to feed us in that day, while the ones who didn't call on him, who didn't rely on him, which are the 2/3, and then the heathens by default, because the heathens don't have a chance anyway. They can't be saved. All right? All of them are going to suffer in the famine. They're not going to have no food or water. They're going to be of a sorrow mind. Because why? They don't want to come to the house. And I'm talking about the 2/3 now, because the heathens, they're irrelevant. They're insignificant. They don't matter. But they didn't come to the house of mourning. The scriptures say it's better to be in the house of mourning than the house of feasting. That's in Ecclesiastes, the 7th chapter. We've always been in the house of mourning. So now it's your turn to be in the house of mourning, and we're going to rejoice. Why are we going to rejoice when all hell is broken loose? When everything has completely failed? Well, we're going to rejoice because we said this would come. We said this would happen. Not us, but through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai said this is going to take place. And it is. So that's us watching the Lord's prophecy play out. We're going to rejoice over that, man. We're going to rejoice over that. Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai is our survival plan. Take your chips and throw it on the Lord, man. Bet all your poker chips on Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, because he going to win every time. He going to win every time. And it may not seem like we're winning right about now, because we're in a weakened state. But like the Lord said, when we're weak, we're strong. When we're weak, we're strong. All right, we've been made weak. Now we are strong. All right. So I want to go to Proverbs 3 and 5. Get you all the goodies. If you're not convinced to trust in the Lord after this video, good luck. And luck ain't real, so you're fucked at the end of the day. All right. So it says, Proverbs 3 and 5, trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. If you're out here prepping carnally and putting your hope in hope, because like I said, it's okay to prep carnally. But if you're prepping carnally and you're putting all your hope into this prepping, Salaki, I'm trying to push you up here. Dingus. Salaki, so if you're prepping and you're putting all your hope into the prepping, the carnal prepping that you're doing, you're leaning onto your own understanding. And the Lord commanded us not to do that. Now, if you're prepping all right, with the spirit of, hey, the Lord's still going to provide. And if I'm able to use this, it's because the Lord allowed me to. Then you're good. You're not leaning into your own understanding. You're leaning unto the Lord. And you're trusting in the Lord. It says, in all thy ways acknowledge him. All of your ways. Just like the Lord said, in everything give thanks to the Lord. You're supposed to acknowledge the Lord in all things as well. So if you're prepping and you ain't acknowledging the Lord during that prepping, that carnal prepping, you're through. Here it is, you're carnally prepping, but you're not spiritually prepping. You're through. It says, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Be not wise in thine own eyes, fear Yahweh, and depart from evil. It shall be health to thy navel and marrow to thy bones. So there you go. All right, it's healthy to serve the Lord. You know, so let's go to Isaiah 20. Let's go to Psalm 144. Psalm 144:1, a psalm of David. Blessed be the Lord my strength, which teacheth my hands to war, and my fingers to fight, my goodness and my fortress, and my high tower, and my deliverer, my shield, and he in whom I trust, who subdueth my people under me, man. So the Lord is our fortress. He will teach our hands to war. So in that day when you got to get with the nitty gritty, you got to get handsy. The Lord is going to guide your hands to war. Even if you've never if you've never done a combat sport in your life, you never trained a combat sport in your life, hey, it's going to be like you've been training for an eternity. All right, he's going to unlock that ancient warrior-like spirit that's been in you, that's always been in you. Because if you're the 144, you were one of those mighty men of David. All right? You were of the tabernacle of David. Okay? So, hey, man, the Lord teacheth our hands to war. All right? So when we need to get down with it in that day, we're going to get down. All right? The Lord teacheth our hands to war. Good luck here, y'all. As I was saying, my goodness, so the Lord is our goodness. He's our fortress. He's our high tower. Proverbs 18:10. He is our deliverer. He is our shield. He is our buckler. He is everything. He's everything for us. All right? So there you go. I want to go to, and we're almost done here. Let's go to Isaiah 26, see what that's talking about real quick. Trust in the Lord. So like you trust ye in the, call it. Isaiah 26:4, trust ye in Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai forever. For in Yahweh, all right, for in the Lord Yahweh is everlasting strength. We're going to read that one more time without fucking it up. Trust ye in the Lord forever. For in the Lord, damn, man. Satan don't want me to read this without stuttering. Isaiah 26:4. Trust ye in the Lord forever. For in the Lord Yahweh is everlasting strength. There you go. All right. So within Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, we have everlasting strength. So this should show you who your survival plan should be through and be based upon. You could carnal prep in all of those things. Is that the truck you saw earlier? You could carnal prep in all of those things. All right. But if your trust is not in the Lord, it won't matter. But if you're carnally prepping, but your trust is in the Lord, it will work. It will work. All right, it will work. You have to have your faith in the Lord. As the Hebrews 11:6 says, it says, without faith, it is impossible to please Yahweh. So you have to have faith. If you don't possess faith, you're fucked. All right, you're through. So I want to go to 2nd Esdras 9. And we'll start at 7. And it reads, and everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works, and by faith whereby ye have believed, shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land, meaning in our nation, of our people, starting with the elect, and within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. From the beginning, man, meaning we were chosen from the beginning. All right, the Lord chose us. It was predestined. You understand what the point is? If you have faith, if you have works, because your works back your faith, all right, and if you have faith, you're going to have works. You show your faith by your works. If you have that, you're going to be delivered from the said perils to come. So if you ain't got no works, if you're not trusting in the Lord, you won't be delivered, man. Simply put, you will not be delivered in that day. So I want to close it with Job 5, and we'll start at 19. It says, Job 5 and 19, he shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. Yeah, in 7, there shall no evil touch thee. All right, so, hey, man, the Lord going to have it to where no evil comes upon us, man. And we read some of that in, I believe it was that in Psalm 91 we read that. Regardless, the Lord going to have mercy on us, man. He's going to have us protected. He's going to have provision over us. All right, he's going to provide for us in that day. That is our true survival plan. Don't matter how much water you stock up, how much canned goods you stock up on, how many guns and bullets you buy, how many swords you buy, which a gun is a modern day sword, but I mean a literal sword. None of that matters. It matters if you have Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai in that day. All right, because everybody going to suffer. Even the mighty men are going to suffer in that day. All right, like Jeremiah 30 went into. Why do I see man in travail as woman with child? Basically laid over in a fetal position, holding his stomach like a bitch, wailing. You're going to hear men wailing like women in that day. Mighty men. I ain't talking about just your average bitch made nigga. I'm talking about your mighty men. I'm talking about your niggas benching 500 plus pounds. Them niggas. I'm talking about them niggas who fucking can run a mile in 4 minutes. Them niggas. I'm talking about your mighty men. I'm talking about your professional boxers, your professional MMA fighters, your mighty men. They're gonna be bitches in that day. I promise you, man. Why? Because they didn't rely on the Lord. All right? Like I say it all the time, you're going to have a brother that's 120 pounds soaking wet, beat the fucking shit out of a fucking, what you would say is a mighty man today, look like a quote-unquote Greek god today. Would beat the shit out of him, because as the scripture said, even the feeble among them shall be as David in that day. You understand? So it says, in famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. When it comes, we're not going to be afraid. Matter of fact, what are we doing every lesson? We're welcoming the destruction. Every morning, we're welcoming the destruction. When we put up prayers, every night when we go to bed, we're welcoming the destruction, man. All right? Every morning, every night. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Shalak Rayam Wa Inashim Wa Abadim Wa Haradim Wa Mashapayim Wa Kawad Ramyam Wa Gawayim Wa Yabyam Wa Babu Kasha Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai the Water Amman. We're welcoming this destruction. At the end of every lesson, what do I say? Gadol Abadim Lababal HaGadol. Bring great destruction upon Babylon the Great. Every lesson, every day, every morning, every night, we're welcoming the destruction of America. So that shit, if that don't show you we ain't afraid of this shit to come, we only fear the Lord, man. We don't fear nothing else. We don't fear nobody else. We only fear Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. All right? So we're welcoming this destruction. We're inviting it. I know every morning I say, one of my prayers I say is, I ask the Lord to bring Jacob's trouble very soon and the destruction of Babylon the Great, and allow us to see the fall of our enemies, which is first and foremost. Salakia, thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth. So we're gonna, all right, and we're not gonna be afraid of the beasts of the earth because they're gonna be at peace with us. When you read on, it says, "For thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee." So the beasts of the field, they're gonna be at peace with us, man. They're not gonna be attacking us, but to the 2/3 and that's why we keep on telling you. And as the title of this lesson goes, the real survival plan is the Lord. If you double understand.